So this book right here is probably the most important business book you could ever read. Every single entrepreneur that I've come across, I probably recommend this to. In fact, I'm willing to bet that Dan Sullivan, Dr. Benjamin Hardy owe me some money. Like, this book in itself has not only changed my life, but also every single person I've given this book to. And there's 5 key lessons I wanted to go over. If you're one of those weirdos that are like, you know what, I don't want to waste time reading, I don't like to read. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you the 5 key concepts from this book that if you implement it, you not only, your life will change, you will start to see better results in your personal life, but also your business will grow and you'll finally be happy doing it. The book completely goes against everything we think we know about creating a successful business. We think, and maybe I shouldn't say we, I thought that in order to grow a business, I have to do what I did in everything that I've done, which is grind. I needed to work 10x harder to get 10x results. The truth of the matter is that's not how it actually works. The truth is, I was working my tail off in my business and working crazy hours, and I wasn't getting the results I wanted. And maybe I doubled the revenue that my business was making, but I was miserable. I was working on things I didn't want to work on. The business felt like a struggle the entire time, but there is a better way, and it's 10x easier than 2x. The concept is really simple. If you work on less, you will get more. Which then brings me to one of the first keys I want to talk about, which is think quality over quantity. So remember that old 80-20 rule? This is very, very much true for your business. 20% of your efforts is probably the result of 80% of your actual results you're getting in your life. The truth is, most of us focus on the little things. I remember at one point in my business, I had this $300 a month community that I was spending so much time, money, and effort, and all my relationships were driven towards that $300 a month thing, but it was bringing in maybe $12,000 a month, something like that, versus my agency, I was spending no time on at all, yet and still was bringing in almost $30K a month in my business. And it took me a long time, I'm really ashamed to admit this, but it took me a really long time to realize that I wasn't focusing on the right things. And because that I had so many more people in the community versus the agency, which I only had a handful of clients, I thought I needed to spend more time here, but that's not really the case. It's only until I started moving to quality versus quantity that things started happening a lot faster. I started being a little bit more happy because I was focused on the right people at the right time. So my business grew a lot faster than had it done when I was only focusing on the $300 a month clients that I was working on here. To really make your business successful, do what I did. Make a report using your CRM or your QuickBooks or whatever, pull a P&L, look at all the products you're selling and ask yourself, if I were to eliminate all of those other products that I had, focused on the 20% that's actually driving 80% of the revenue, if I just focused on that, took this new energy that I have, because I'm not focused on these other products, focused it all here, that 20%, how much would your business grow? The book argues that it would grow 10x. So the second key is you need to start thinking big picture. I had a mentor recently challenge me and said, hey, if you were to charge 10x more than you currently do, right? If you were to, let's say, start doing multiple 6-figure contracts, how would things change for you? Now, financially, obviously, it'd be a game changer. It's a no-brainer, but how would I need to change? How would I need to look at the world differently? What kind of clients would I need to have? All of these questions started popping up, and something started happening. I started to get a little nervous. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to elevate and go to that other place. But the truth of the matter is, you can do it. I can do it. And so what I started doing is I said, all right, well, what would I do at this price tag? What would I do at a multiple 6-figure contract? The funny thing is, it's not really much different than what I'm currently doing. And the truth is, for you right now, if you were to 10x how much you charge your clients, the only thing that really needs to change is your mindset. Your inability, the only thing you need to change is your mindset, and more specifically around how you think about yourself. The truth is, we all undercharge. We think that our value is X, but really it's Y. Our clients know that they're undercutting us. They know that we're charging them way less than what they get out of it. And so if you were to think more big picture, literally challenge yourself today, look at your current products and go, if I were to 10x this, how would things change? How would I look at this differently? What kind of clients do I need to get? And if you do this goes back to the point number 1, quality over quantity. Yes, you may have less clients, but you may be happier and you probably will make a little bit more, which actually brings me to point number 3 of this book. The third key is having freedom-based thinking. So one of my favorite concepts of the book is this idea of freedom from versus freedom 2. When you first start off in your business, you probably were having this idea of I want freedom from something, meaning I have a job, I want to get out of the job, I want the freedom to escape my current job, I want to be an entrepreneur, make enough. And it's always this interesting thing where you go, I want to make enough to where I can leave my job is usually the first question, but that's kind of the wrong way to look at it. We're escaping something. But if we change it and go, okay, what kind of business can I create that would give me the freedom to do what I want to do? And so for me, it's the freedom to create YouTube videos like this. It's the freedom to work with clients that I'm really passionate about and I get excited when I'm working with them. That is the concept of freedom 2. So if you build your business and your life around having the freedom to do something, not only will you make money, but you also have the freedom. Because I've done the opposite. I created a business that I was escaping from. I created a business that was freedom from the things I was going through, but all that happened was I just had less freedom because I was inundated with the business. I was inundated with meeting with clients. I was inundated with meetings, all this stuff. I didn't really have any more freedom. I had money, but I didn't have any personal freedom. So the concept of the book that I think is incredibly important, and maybe we should even start here, is the freedom from versus freedom 2. You have to build your business around freedom, otherwise you will never get it. You may get money, but you won't get freedom. Now, key number four is less is more. And I don't just mean quality versus quantity here. I mean, you have to do less in order to get more. Again, this is so counterintuitive to everything that we thought about creating a business. I have to, in order to make more sales, I should probably do 10x more sales calls. No, you should actually have 5 more sales calls with the right people. That's quality versus quantity. The less is more concept is what you're doing in your personal life. I had this one exercise I did one time where I looked at everything that I did in a single day, and I realized that 80% of it I should probably stop doing. 80% was a waste of my time. 80% was spent sitting on my phone scrolling, or picking up a book and thinking about reading it but not actually doing the reading, or sitting on Netflix and watching and scrolling. The best part about, by the way, things like Netflix is, if we're really honest, our time really isn't spent watching Netflix. Our time's spent looking for something on Netflix to watch. That's a whole other thing. But if you want more, you should do less. Take a look at what you can eliminate from your life. I had this one mentor tell me once that everything we want is here. However, our behavior is all the way over here. The only way that you can actually see momentum is if what you want here and what you do every day is here, and that's in alignment. This allows you to get an alignment. In order to have more, you have to start doing less. That means you have to start saying no to things. This sometimes is a little difficult. There's a bit that you have to work on personally to make this thing come to fruition, which brings me to key number 5. You have to transform. You have to honestly become almost like a whole other person to make this happen. You have to have the certain beliefs that you can do it in order to achieve it. You have to be able to transform the way that you spend your time, your days, transform the relationship you have. Everything that you have today is based on who you are or who you were yesterday. In order to get something new, you have to become something new. And this is what transformation is about. They talk about it a great deal in the book. But transformation is not just, hey, I'm gonna work on some habits. It's completely changing and rewiring your entire brain and how it actually works. This is easier said than done. I'm fully aware. But if you were to start eliminating things from your life, start saying no to the certain people you don't want to work with, and start elevating yourself and start working with people that you admire, people that you think you have no business working with, you're always going to still have these little doubts in your head every once in a while. Perfect example is not too long ago, I met with a large group of huge entrepreneurs that were making, in one case, like almost $500 million. And there's moments in my head I'm thinking, what am I doing here? I have nothing to offer these people. But the truth is, as you dig in, you start to ask them questions, you realize, oh no, I belong here. Like, there are some things, they're farther ahead in their journey, but there's some things that I know that they don't know. And there's tons of things that I can learn. So in order for you to really grow your life and your business, it's gonna be about transformation. Now, there's probably plenty more that I can cover. And in fact, I did. I'll put it after this video, one of the end screens will be my huge debrief from the book. But it's one of the most important books that you could read to not only grow your business, but your personal life. And that's why I needed to do another video, to give the book that I've used in my personal life as well as my business to help me grow it, but also to improve the way that I think think about everything. So with that being said, if you've read the book, do me a favor, go in the comments, let me know what are your favorite key takeaways of the book. And if you haven't read it, what questions do you have about it? And I'm sure there's gonna be some people that say, well, it doesn't make sense. Raylan, less is more. How does that make sense? Leave your concerns or questions in the comments. One of us that have read the book will probably address it. With that being said, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video.